9,500 years ago on the island of Cyprus, a human was laid to rest. But they weren't buried alone. In a grave that predates the Egyptian pyramids by millennia, archaeologists found something that shifted everything we thought we knew about our history with the feline world. A cat, buried with intentional care right beside its human. Most people assume our relationship with cats began in ancient Egypt with golden statues and mummified royalty. But the truth is much older, much stranger, and far more calculated than you've been told. While we think we domesticated them, the reality is that cats chose us, not once but twice, and they used a masterclass in biological manipulation to ensure that we, the humans, would help them take over the entire world. According to the sources, your cat has never once looked at you and seen a human. They see you as a really big, really clumsy cat, who somehow ended up in their colony. But how did a solitary, fierce desert predator decide that living with a giant, hairless ape was a good survival strategy? Today we are decoding the 10,000-year-old mystery of how we domesticated cats twice. We're going to look at the grain storage revolution that started it all, the secret vocal identity they developed just for us, and the heart-melting reason that 9,500-year-old burial in Cyprus is the ultimate proof that you aren't just an owner. To your cat, you have always been home. Part 1. The first choice, the Near East. Our story begins in the Fertile Crescent. Humans had just discovered agriculture. For the first time we were staying in one place, building granaries and storing food. But where there is grain there are rodents. To the early farmers, mice were a disaster. But to a small wild hunter they were a gold mine. This is the point where the first choice was made. These wildcats weren't captured or tamed like dogs or cattle. Instead, they performed a security sweep of our early settlements. They noticed that humans were hopeless hunters, who were accidentally attracting a massive food source. By lingering near our homes, the cats entered a loop of social learning. They watched us, observed our patterns, and realized that while we were large and unpredictable, we were also a safe base that kept larger predators away. But there is a reason that cat in Cyprus was buried next to the human, and it reveals a level of emotional attachment that science only recently confirmed. Part 2. The Big Cat Theory in Action. Why did those first farmers let the cat stay? It wasn't just because they killed mice. It was because the cat started using a secret language to bridge the gap between species. As we know from the sources, cats are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. This meant they were awake and guarding the perimeter exactly when the early humans were most vulnerable. Even 9,000 years ago, these cats were likely positioning themselves as bodyguards, watching the entry points of the first permanent human huts while their humans slept. In the eyes of that ancient cat in Cyprus, that human wasn't a master, they were a colony member. They likely shared a communal scent, as the cat would have bunted or headbutt the human to mark them as family only. When that human died, the colony was broken. The fact that they were buried together suggests that even then, 9,500 years ago, humans had already fallen for the secure attachment that cats are masters at creating. Part 3. The second choice, the Egyptian expansion. Fast forward a few thousand years to ancient Egypt. This is when the second domestication happened. If the first domestication was about utility, killing mice, the second was about personality. In Egypt, cats became more than just pest control. They became companions. This is likely when the cat's meow was invented just for us. Adult cats almost never meow at each other. They only do it to get the attention of a parental figure. In Egypt, cats realized that humans were deaf to their subtle tail signals, so they brought back their baby voice to communicate. They also began to refine their vocal identity. They learned that a short, soft, high-pitched trill, or chirp, would get them better treatment than a loud, demanding howl. They weren't just living near us anymore, they were training us without us even knowing it. If you're starting to realize your cat has been running the same 10,000-year-old training program on you, hit that like button and subscribe. We're helping owners everywhere finally understand the masterminds in their living rooms. Part 4. Taking over the world, the shipwreck survivors. How did a small desert cat from the Near East take over the entire planet? They did it by hitching a ride on our biggest achievements. As humans began to trade across the Mediterranean, they brought their cats with them on ships to protect the food supplies from rats. These cats weren't just passengers, they were active crew members. They ran their security sweeps across the decks and kept the shared nest of the ship safe from invaders. By the time the Vikings were sailing the North Sea and the Silk Road was connecting east and west, cats were already there, claiming the world as their territory. They didn't have to fight for land, they just had to wait for humans to build a warm little indent in a new part of the world and then move in. Part 5. The Science of the Safe Base. When your cat needs your softest blanket today, they are performing a ritual that is millions of years old. They are marking you with scent glands in their paw pads, signing their name on you with invisible chemical ink. This isn't just cute behavior, it is the result of 10,000 years of secure attachment. Your presence is this safe place that tells their nervous system it's okay to stop being a predator and start being a family member. Science has proven that 65% of cats show the same secure attachment to their owners that human infants show with their mothers. This bond is why your cat chooses to sleep with you, positioning themselves as your bodyguard at the foot of the bed. They know they are small and they know they are 15 times smaller than you, but in their mind they have a post to maintain. Part 6. Why the Cyprus burial still matters. So, why was that cat in Cyprus buried with its human? It proves that the bond we have with cats isn't a modern invention of internet culture. It is a fundamental part of the human experience. Even before we had writing, even before we had metal tools, we had the slow blink. When that cat was laid in that grave, the people of Cyprus were acknowledging a reconciliation that had taken place over centuries. They were recognizing that this animal wasn't just a mouse killer, they were a member of the inner circle who provided a parallel presence. The act of simply existing together in peace. When you sit on the floor today and let your cat approach you as an equal, you are honoring that 9,500-year-old tradition. You are making yourself small enough to meet them where they are. The final secret, you are home. Your cat doesn't need you to be a perfect hunter. They don't even need you to understand every tail flick or ear twitch. They just need you to be the one presence that tells their entire nervous system that everything is okay. From the grain-filled huts of the first farmers to your living room today, the message has never changed. Your cat isn't looking for an owner. They are looking for a colony leader who respects their boundaries, understands their silent meows, and offers a safe place to land. When you walk through your door tonight and your cat greets you, or maybe just takes your seat the moment you stand up, remember that you are part of a 10,000-year-old success story. You are the reason they were able to take over the world. And in exchange, they've given you the ultimate compliment. They've decided that in a vast, dangerous world, you are home. If you want to learn more about the silent messages your cat sends every day, check out our video on why your cat stares at you while you sleep. And don't forget to hit subscribe to join our colony. Let's help every cat feel understood.